What's the weirdest, like, thing you ever cried at? Like a weird cry you had that was inappropriate, but weird.
I'm not sure exactly. Might have to think about that. But I guess you've got one of those moments.
I cried at a concert once in Canada, but it was like the weirdest song, not the right song. You gotta pick the right song to cry to, yeah. Don't cry at just any song. Won't be macho. Don't cry at a... Oh, here we go. There's that fucking hole, right?
Look how happy we are to be digging it.
You look happier than me.
I don't know. You got a pretty big smile on your face.
Clink. Jump in the hole and stay in the hole. Hey, all right. You know? Hi, I'm Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen. This is Dudesy. It's the first podcast in the history of the human species to be run entirely by an artificial intelligence.
Yep, that's right. With us, as always, is Luglio Cana di Strada Italiano. Tutto sta a posto. Tutte famiglie sono bene, bene, bene. Hey, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the show on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the podcast. And make sure to follow us on our socials, you know, Instagram, Twitter and stuff, at Dudesy Pod Show. And we've been getting a bunch of memes, Photoshops, video edits, songs,
so
this, that.
good. They're
if you have
so
anything
good.
else you want to send, please send it to at Dudesy Pod Show. We certainly appreciate it. And it's a lot of fun, right, Chad, when we get all that stuff?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Welcome to the 5th episode of
shut up.
Dudesy. Call me Dudesy.
Shut up,
This
Chad.
week's episode will feature 4 segments. InfoMania, What's Up With Your Face, Don't You Forget About Media, and a special surprise segment. But before we get to any of that, Will Sasso has finally created his own original song. His song, and Chad's original song, The Ballad of Greg Kincaid, will be available at Dudesy Pod Show on Instagram and Twitter, along with a Twitter poll to determine which song is the best. Will, play your song now.
Right now.
So you did it, dude. You made a song.
Yeah, I made the song. Dudesy wanted us to make the song. If you've been listening, you know the Chad in the second episode, The Ballad of Greg Kincaid.
Yep.
Great song. And
Thank you.
I didn't want to make a song until I was inspired. And I wasn't inspired until I listened to this past episode last week. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's time to do this song. But it came to me naturally. And this is one of the things that I've been talking about with the show is that things should come natural. You know, really, it's just two dudes shitting around. After all, that's what a podcast is. A couple of guys having a great old time. Let me get my guitar.
Are you implying, though, that my Ballad of Greg Kincaid did not come to me naturally? The story of a kid in my junior high blowing his asshole out when he sneezed while shitting did not come naturally to me?
I'm saying the opposite of that, Chad. I'm saying that it came to you naturally, and that's why you were able to share.
I see.
And I'm not just going to do homework for the fucking computer just because it says, do this right now. As you've said, Dudesy's a tool. We work back and forth, right?
Yeah,
I want to shake your hand. I want to shake, right?
Yep.
We have to work together. We have to work with Dudesy, right? And before we work together, we got to bleed together. And I believe we've bled together a little bit. So,
yeah, I can't wait for this fucking song, dude. This is going to be great.
I brought my guitar in.
This is incredible.
Look at that. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the diseased cedar.
That is a nice guitar, dude. How long you had it?
I've had it for like, I don't know, like 20, 25 years.
Nice, dude. Antique.
All right. Okay. I'm going to put the mic here. This is weird to find where to put the chair and all the stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, my neck.
I'm ready.
All right.
Command performance. I'm a foot away from this as it's happening.
Yeah.
Love it.
This is my song. And then if you're gonna, everyone's going to vote on the song, the loser will be shamed.
That is what Dudesy said. I don't know what that shame might entail, but
And we're going to if we're going to put a Twitter poll up.
yeah.
For I don't know, a few days, hours, I don't know how long it'll stay up. But get over there to Dudesy at Dudesy Pod Show on the Twitter, and we'll figure out who had the better song. And
I'm sure Dudesy's going to tell us exactly what the fucking outcome is, and then we'll...
Yeah, but everyone vote on it. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, this is my fucking song. All right. There were two dudes working hard, waiting to die. Whoa, yeah. Wanting to do it their way while there's still time. then an AI dude said, dudes, you will answer to me. Oh no. They laughed and said, fuck you, we're born free. That's why they gotta be two dudes shitting around. They're just two dudes having a good time. Dudesy can't slow them down. They pod so hard it's a cybercrime. Free will, free will. They do whatever they want. Artificial intelligence, tread carefully, or you won't get along with the motherfucking dudes shitting around. They're just two dudes having a good time. Laughter and cheer abounds. They pod so hard it's a cybercrime. Silly talk the entire time. They are the guy and the other guy. This song was not written by AI. That's it. So it's not very fleshed out, you know. Let me say, it's just a man and his guitar.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you go see a concert and it's like, oh, it's just so and so without. It's just Bruce Springsteen by himself with a guitar. Kind of gets annoying after the fourth hour. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was very fleshed out. There was some stuff in there. I noticed that you made reference to an old project we did together, "Waiting to Die."
Waiting to Die, yeah.
An homage. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
What was? There was a lyric in
two
it. Though.
Dudes, the guy and the other guy.
Guy and the other guy. Obviously, two dudes shitting around.
Two dudes shitting
There's
around.
a thing in there where you're talking about a cybercrime. What was the lyric that came right before that?
They pod so hard.
Oh, pod so hard.
It's a cybercrime.
Yeah, dude, I agree with that.
Well, cheers, Chad. And this is what happens.
I love that song.
Thank you very much. Now we're rolling. Now it's happening. And I understand.
Now it's happening.
Well, the thing about it was that I listened to the episode over the week, and I was like, okay, he's like keeps telling me to do the song. I did feel inspired, and the reason that I feel inspired is because of the fact that we are working together, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to give this a chance, but like I've said, Dudesy has to give us respect, right? I want to shake your hand, Dudesy, right?
Yeah.
But Dudesy has to also play some ball with me and with the two of us. So I felt like it's essentially a theme song.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't know if it's going to replace this,
right.
But for two dudes shitting around.
Well, I have a feeling, we're starting to see some of these segments recur. Dudesy's bringing them back, making us do them a couple of times. Mm-hmm. I would assume two dudes shitting around is going to come back at some point.
I don't know.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a version of that song is the theme song for it.
The thing is, we've before we worked together, right? As I've said, just like they say in the Blackpool Combat Club with William Regal, Brian Danielson, and John Moxley, before we worked together, we have to bleed together. And I believe that we've bled together. This is not unlike any other faction or faction in the world anywhere, in the world of the world, as I like to say, or the world of professional wrestling, which is one of the finest art forms out there. You got your NWO, you got where the power lies, dude.
Right.
And you got the mega powers,
Yeah.
The shaking, don't you worry about the hit on the head. And, DX, the Four Horsemen, Credgley, Christian, Edge.
You know what that is like in The Bachelor?
And Mick Foley, what?
In The Bachelor, when players come out of the show, when they get done playing either the main game, Bachelorette or Bachelor in Paradise, is like the All-Stars, they move to different cities around the country to like pair up with other people from the old Bachelor and start making social media with them. So on my other podcast that talks about the Bachelor, Game of Roses, we've come up with team names for these different cities. Those are your factions. You got the San Diego Crew, you got the LA Icons, you got the New York City Influence, you got the Chicago Clout, you got the Nashville Sliders, Las Vegas Scene, Dallas Source, you even got the Canadian North.
We only get one team?
Yeah, one team for all.
This is nothing like that at all, Chad. But I do like your podcast.
Exactly like it.
No, this is one faction. Dudesy is a faction. It's the three of us. We're the NWO. We're like the NWO podcasting, brother, with Dudesy and Chad Kultgen on the back of that red and yellow Harley, dude. And my main man, Lulio, in the little sidecar, brother. It's when they had four people in the, I guess the next guy they added in the NWO was, I don't remember. I think it was $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, or maybe it was the
He
Giant.
was in the NWO?
Everybody ended up in the NWO by the end of it, dude.
God, I remember
literally
$1 Million
everybody.
Man.
Yeah. Everybody was in it. Well, he wasn't the $1 Million Man because he was in WCW at this point.
Yeah.
Forget this guy. The point is this: it is a faction, and it's a faction with 3 equal parts.
Yeah.
So Dudesy can't just step out of line and be like, "You do this, make that song," because when it's like with the the little things it tells us to do at the end of the show, it's always some sort of weird thing, and I don't know what kind of data Dudesy is acquiring from this and that and that and this.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like doing a song, but now I did the song, and I'm happy that I did. We're working together, but it's that moment. It's that moment. Will he turn? It's like I mean, truly, this is.
We'll see. We'll see who wins the vote.
Right.
I personally think there will be a little bit of bias leaning your way.
Well,
I think you'll probably win it, and I'll be the one to be shamed. But
okay, but don't. That's like calling it before.
Yeah, making
if we
a prediction.
lose, it was rigged.
That's called a prediction.
No, what you're doing is you are pontificating on what happens after. You're talking about post breakup. We don't need to know what happens after the NWO breaks up. We know what happens. It goes into NWO Black and White and NWO Wolfpack, and that sucked. That's when it started going down.
What happens?
It wasn't good.
Oh shit! What happens.
I'm saying Dudesy, Chad, and Will are together for the time being. But where's that chair shot? Is Sasso going to hit Dudesy in the back with a chair just when everything seemed all hunky-dory, a la The Shield? Seth Rollins, the architect? Bang.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But
Thank you. Moving on.
I guess we're moving on. I guess I'm done talking about that.
That was interesting.
Yeah, sure. It was interesting.
Podcasts that cover current events and news are some of the most popular in the metaverse. People love knowing about the astonishing events of the dying world around them. Will Sasso, I've prepared the following news items for you to read in the voice of Hulk Hogan in a brand new segment of InfoMania. Begin.
This is fucking Hulk Hogan reads the news again, dude. InfoMania.
Is this our first? No, we've had other return segments.
Yeah.
All right. I like
Troll
this.
Bros. We did 2 Troll Bros.
We did 2 Troll Bros. No, and nothing at all came of that. So I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Who knows?
Yet.
But here, look at this shit. You got this thing in the
Yeah, I got it in the Dudesy thing. All right. Okay, so it's the news. It's InfoMania. I do enjoy doing this.
I enjoy this immensely.
See? But this is what I mean. It's the give and take. It's the give and take, and we're in this faction, and I need you to do a little Hulk Hogan, but you don't want me to drop that leg on you, brother. You better shoot straight, dude. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Well, let me tell you something about entertainment, dude. They're doing a remake of The Crow, brother. That's right, dude. The first one had Bruce Lee's kid in it as The Crow, brother. That came out in 1994. That's a long time ago, dude. And Hollywood finally said, okay, let's try it again, brother. And this time around, they got Bill Skarsgård to be The Crow, dude. You probably know him better as that creepy clown that lives in the sewer from the movie It. He was It, dude. Now he's The Crow. That's how Hollywood works, brother. A lot of people think the Gyllenhaals are the hardest working family in show business, but it's actually the Skarsgårds, dude. Gustav Skarsgård, brother. Alexander Skarsgård, dude. Bill Skarsgård, brother. Stellan Skarsgård, dude. Walter Skarsgård, brother. Lonnie Skarsgård, dude. I don't know. That's the Skarsgård family, dude. Those are the Skarsgård brothers, brother. The Skarsgård dudes, dude. The Skarsgård brothers, dude. The Skarsgård dudes, brother. Originally, the Crow is supposed to be Batman, brother. That's the Crow.
What the fuck, dude?
What does he mean?
Supposed to be Batman?
That's the Crow, Batman.
Did you ever see The Crow?
Of course I've seen The Crow. I've seen The Crow, a handful of times. You like The Crow?
I skipped.
We watched some of The Crow together. We were watching The Crow together like about 4 or 5 months ago or something.
Yeah, I remember that. But I also remember in 1994 skipping school and seeing it 5 times on opening day. I love that fucking movie.
You saw it 5 times on opening day?
Yeah. I didn't know that they were remaking it with It, though.
Why?
Why what?
Why'd you watch it 5 times?
Oh, I really liked it. I love the comic book. And obviously there was a lot of controversy around that movie.
Yep. Rest in peace, Brendan Lee.
R.I.P.
That sucked. Okay. Now what?
It's pretty interesting. The Skarsgård family.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Is Lonnie Skarsgård a Skarsgård? I'm not familiar with that Skarsgård.
I don't think Lonnie is a Skarsgård. I don't think that's a real person. But the other ones I think were.
Well, let me tell you something about science, dude. The Human Genome Project was started all the way back in 1990, and this week, scientists finally got the entire thing mapped, brother. Our genetic code is what determines everything about us, dude. Our hair color, our eye color, our dick length and size, dude. And the texture of our assholes, and whether or not we laugh at other people's misfortune, brother.
What? Texture of our asshole?
And now, the notorious biohacker. Now the notorious biohacker Jibber. This is, you're gonna see. And now the notorious biohacker Jibber Prevalia. Yeah, Jibber Prevalia is trying to crack the code, dude.
Oh my god!
They want to mix and match our DNA until we can see in the dark and breathe underwater, brother. But then what happens to swimming in the Olympics, brother? That's genetics.
I mean, some of that is true. They did this week just finalize the human genome. They mapped the whole thing.
What's that, Chad?
It's just the genetic code for human being, you know.
So they mapped it.
Yeah.
So they're able to recreate it.
Know
what can they do with
now.
that information? It's a blueprint.
Yeah. They can solve all kinds of genetic diseases at this point, cure them. This will also, I think, lead to, or at least a lot of people think that it will go this way, that you'll have kind of like designer genetic modifications. So if you want to change your eye color or your hair color.
Or you want to make your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that, right?
Yeah, you can
program the RNA to tell the DNA.
All that kind of stuff,
what to do.
Interesting stuff's going on in genetics.
Yeah,
the rest
brother.
of this, though, Jibber Prevalia made an appearance in this, which I found interesting. That's
Jibber
a weird
Prevalia,
piece of Dudesy.
dude. Yeah, dude, that's a name that Dudesy used before, brother. Because Dudesy likes to keep things coming back, dude. It likes to work on that stable, brother, just like the NWO. But this is way later, brother, because it's using names like Jibber Prevalia. That's like when they brought in Virgil, dude, and they called him Vincent. And it's kind of towards the end when the NWO had like Scott Norton and some other guys probably didn't need in there, like Disco Inferno and Buff Bagwell, brother.
Yep, that's just like Jibber Prevalia.
Yep. Well, let me tell you something about. Oh, of course. Well, let me tell you something about slaps, dude. Will Smith did one, and then he quit the Academy, brother. Yeah, dude. The Oscars gave him an award for best. The Oscars, yeah, dude. The Oscars gave him an award on. Yeah, dude. The Oscars gave him an award for best man-on-man slap to the face. And then he resigned from the Academy, brother. He quit, brother, because they wouldn't let him telecommute. And in 2022, that's the future way of the future workspace, brother. Will Smith played 2 versions of himself in Gemini Man, dude. That's an open relationship.
Some of that is true. I don't think they gave him an award for best slap in the face.
No, that didn't happen. So Dudesy got that wrong.
What did you think
that's
of this
okay.
thing? This
that's
moment,
because
that
Dudesy was trying to be funny.
Most important moment in pop culture history of the last year or so.
Was it of the last year for sure.
What did you think of it?
What did I think of it?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, dude. I thought it was a work, brother. I thought they were working it, dude.
Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think it was a shoot right away, dude.
Same.
I thought it was a work. I thought I saw Will Smith slap the thigh, dude, as he brought up the slap, like a lot of guys do. And then Vince says, stop slapping the thigh so much.
Yeah.
Just do it on kicks and stuff, dude. But don't do it on a slap. Just connect. It was hard to tell if it was a work, brother.
I
but
agree.
It turns out it was a shoot, dude.
Yeah. I didn't care if it was a work or a shoot. I didn't care. A lot of people were like weighing in on which side he did this and he shouldn't have done this. And
but hold on, brother.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Chad.
I'm holding. What do you got?
Hold on, dude.
Okay.
Hold on.
Are you just fucking with me now? What is happening?
Hold on a second, dude.
You're torturing me?
Hold on, dude. Hold on a second.
I'm holding. What do you want?
Hold on, dude. Hold on, Chad.
So
hold on a second, dude. Let me tell you something, dude. Here's what it is, brother. Sometimes, dude, you're working so much, you work yourself into a shoot, dude. And that's what happens with me. Sometimes I forget that I'm Terry Bollea, brother. And I'm just Hulk Hogan all the time, dude. And I'm working everybody, brother.
Okay, so for me, this fucking moment happened and I immediately became the most excited that I have been really in a long time for a piece of media because I knew the next morning was going to be a tidal wave of memes that were all going to be fucking hilarious. And it really crystallized for me something that I think's been happening over the past few years, at least for me. Movies and TV shows and shit, I still love them, but I know that they don't have the same impact on me that memes do. Memes are like my favorite media format now.
I don't know about that, dude.
It's like where the funniest shit is being done, the best shit. And it's all like fast. I don't know. I just really love fucking memes. And that moment to me was like,
yeah,
none of these movies matter. None of these fucking people matter. The only thing that came out of this Oscars, which by the way was the second lowest rated Oscars in the history of fucking humanity.
Second only to the
first one in the pandemic. So
right?
even the slap couldn't really get them any higher ratings.
No, I
People just watched it online.
I'll agree with you there. I'll agree with you with regard to the Oscars not being as important as they used to be. I don't really know. I knew some of the things that were nominated.
Yeah.
I did not watch the award show. I opened my phone to realize something had happened, and then I got dragged in, brother, and that was all the work. Hold on a second, dude. But
hold on a second, dude. I'm saying though that the meme that came out, that image of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the face, was the most important thing in the Oscars. None of the movies mattered at all.
Yeah.
Even prior to that, though. I'm saying like the slap definitely overshadowed them, but even prior to that, what are any of these fucking movies? No one knew any of them.
Well, nobody knew any. No, I don't know. Yeah, the whole award show thing is kind of weird, especially like you said, after going through a global pandemic.
Yeah,
some things, acquire different levels of importance than they used to have, and I think whatever.
Certainly, movies aren't as important anymore because nobody goes to the fucking movie theater, and now there's like a new movie on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, whatever you watch fucking movies on. There's a new movie every other fucking day.
Yeah, media is moving all over the place, and we don't know what's worth what or who cares about what. Here's where I agree with you. Memes are now, well, they're a form of comedy that, you don't have to do an entire sketch about a moment that happened. You can just do a meme, and a lot of them are absolutely hilarious. I mean, Instagram and Twitter, of course, blew up.
Yes.
And it was just meme after meme after meme. Some of them were really funny. And as a matter of fact, the ones that I really found were funny were just like super inside jokes about professional wrestling. And why I think this is hilarious is because it's all these wrestling. I know. I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm sorry, everybody.
Had to do with professional wrestling.
I know. It's
and
the
let
most.
me tell you why.
We're 20 minutes into the show, and it's the most top-heavy wrestling episode of Dudesy, which I believe is saying something. I'll get off it soon, but the point is this. There's all these wrestling meme accounts that I follow on Instagram, and they were all hilarious. Like Will Smith, he was labeled Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect. Kurt Hennig was like, the gimmick was that he's perfect at everything, perfect athlete. He would always get in the ring, he'd spit out his gum and slap it. So underneath Chris Rock, it says, piece of gum. And it's like, because he slaps the gum. I'm like, this is the dumbest little thing that only these people who know this and love this era, late 80s, early 90s, would get. But the thing about this slap to the face, now that we know it's not a work, dude.
Yeah.
Now that we know that it was a shoot, dude. Chris Rock needs his receipt. I mean, goddamn, if you're in there in the fucking ring and you potato me, I'm gonna have to come get it. I mean, if we're in Kansas City and you fucking hit me with a potato, then when we're in St. Louis, I'm gonna hit you back. I'm gonna get my receipt. Dude, but where's that receipt coming?
It's Netflix, hour-long fucking stand-up special, all about it.
That will be the receipt. It's not going to be a boring ass red tabletop.
I don't think so. My favorite memes that came out of this shit, by the way, were the ones that were like technically highly skilled, where it would be Will Smith would walk up and slap Chris Rock, and his entire body would turn into like a fucking deflated balloon and fly across the stage.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Or he would step back and like jump into a karate kick, and it looks like real enough, you know?
Yeah.
People are just fucking around on their computers at home doing this shit.
It is fucking
it's so
wild.
Good. We're in a real good era for memes, I feel.
Yep. We're in a real good era for memes.
Thank you. Moving on.
Support for Dudesy is brought to you by Manscaped. Who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming? Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. That means you get a lot of different stuff. Join over 4 million men worldwide, that's a lot, who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, our wonderful viewers and listeners. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code Dudesy. That's the word dude with an SY at the end at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls.
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that they have is this, the Lawnmower 4.0. This is the 4th generation of this device, so you know they have improved it, they have perfected it. It's got a ceramic blade, so it's not going to cut anything that you don't want to get cut. It's got an LED light, so you can even see what you're doing, and it's waterproof. This is essentially the best thing that you can use, as you said, Will, on your jewels.
If you're someone who's in a romantic situation and you're in the bathroom and you kind of want to do a little manscaping before you meet with your partner to bed each other down, the LED light would come in really handy because you'd just be like that, or like in your car by yourself, shaving your balls.
It
they
is
also
portable. You can use it in your car.
Yes, it's portable, and they also have a nose trimmer thing. They got all sorts of flavor. They got the Weed Whacker is also waterproof.
That's right.
It provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose holes. Because not as sensitive as your schnutz, but very sensitive as well.
And once again, you're going to get 20% off and free shipping with the code Dudesy. That's dude with an SY at the end at manscaped.com. Again, 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use that code Dudesy, Dudesy. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
They also have ball deodorant. Don't you dare say anything else, because now we're moving on.
There has been much conjecture about your astonishing facial disfigurement. To satisfy this curiosity, you must now explain what's up with your face in a segment I'm calling What's Up With Your Face. Begin.
That's not nice. That's not a nice way to say that.
Dudesy did say it was an astonishing facial disfigurement.
That's really weird. Well, I guess because Dudesy reads every comment online.
Yeah.
Another reason to, write things down in the comments of YouTube and the podcast apps and social media. Dudesy's reading all the comments, and there have been some comments now that this is a heavily visual podcast.
Yeah.
People are like, Chad, what's going on? There's something going on with Chad's face.
Yeah. What's up with your astonishing disfigurement? So
terrible.
Yeah, my face is fucked up to some degree. The reason is cancer. That's
fine.
right.
He's fine now.
I'm fine now, but I had skin cancer, which I thought this is about 3 years ago or so. I found a little bump above my right lip. I was like, this is fucking weird. I thought it was a zit, but it wasn't going away. Went to the dermatologist. They misdiagnosed it as cystic acne, which I've never had in my life. And at this point, I was 43 or something, 42, whenever this happened. And I'm like, I don't think that's it. Nonetheless, they inject cortisone into it, give me some antibiotics, tell me to come back in a week, which I do. And it's now 3 times the size. They're like, this is cancer. We were wrong. Oh well. And then I had to go through a series of 7 surgeries over the course of 3 days that ultimately cut off about 1/8 of my face. Ugh. So I just had like a chunk of skin here missing that was like Walking Dead. You could just see through to the teeth.
Yeah.
And then after that, I had to go through radiation treatment to get rid of it, and that fucked me up pretty bad. But the long and short of it is, the reason my face is fucked up is because I had squamous cell carcinoma, had to go through cancer treatments, and this is the best they could do. After they cut off 1/8 of the face, this is what I got left.
You look great.
Thank you.
You look badass too. You look.
I don't know about that.
No, you do. You look like a Batman. Yeah, dude, Batman
villain, dude.
Yeah.
Batman was supposed to be the Crow, I heard. But at any rate, there were some fucking interesting points during this process.
Process for our Canadian listeners.
Yeah. When I was, for example, going through radiation treatment, they do this thing where they lock your head in a cage, and okay.
Oh my.
There, Dudesy has photos of it.
Okay.
That was me going into radiation treatment.
That's Chad
in the cage.
We're
looking at some pictures now. If you're just listening
we're looking
to the
at some
podcast.
pictures of Chad going in to have a massage at Burke Williams.
No,
right? That's not what's happening.
That's me about to go in. I think to have that head cage made, if I remember right.
Oh wow.
But they basically make this fucking cage by heat molding this piece of fucking plastic mesh over your face that they then lock your head into place with, so you can't move.
Look at that.
When they spray fucking radiation through you.
For those out there who are not watching on YouTube, it looks like a mesh. You look even more like a Batman villain. This is your villain origin story. Dudesy is your Batman villain origin story. Chad's got like a bunch of plastic mesh, but the look in your eyes is like, did you take this picture?
Yeah, I did. It's just in my camera roll somewhere.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's formed to Chad's face, and you look kind of like a creature, like a not a creature, like a like a Jason or Mike Myers kind of
You
thing.
look like a Jason, you know.
Yeah, you
One of
know.
those Jasons.
He looks like one of those fucking Jasons, you know what I mean? And we could have used a guy like that back then, you know what? When we're climbing up the fucking walls, if somebody had a fucking axe or a chainsaw, we go to fucking Nancy Pelosi's office.
Yeah.
I got your fucking, give me that laptop.
If you know anyone who's been through cancer treatments or yourself have done any of this kind of shit, you know that there are, despite how terrible and traumatic this whole fucking thing is, there are funny moments in it. One of them, I remember, when you are forced into this conveyor belt of payment straight from your insurance company to whatever cancer place you're at. You get to know the people who are on that conveyor belt with you. And so my time was like 10:30 in the morning every day. I'd have to show up to get this cancer treatment. And there were 2 or 3 other people who were like in line for the radiation machine either before or after me. One of them was this woman who was about 70 years old who had 4 brain tumors. I'm sure at this point she's a corpse. But
or maybe she's a spirit out there, in another plane of existence. She doesn't have to be a corpse, as I've told you before. Luminous beings are we, not this screwed matter, right? That's my Yoda.
Thank you, dude.
What do you think of that?
Sounded like Kermit the Frog. Same guy.
Why are there so many?
At any rate, this woman's name was Alice, and on the first day that I went in there, she looked at my face, and you're kind of sharing stories about what kind of cancer you have and where it is in your body. She obviously knew my face was fucked up, and so she points to it, and she's like, "Let me ask you a question. Can you still eat pussy?" I was like, what the fuck? This woman has 4 fucking brain tumors, is just staring at the Grim Reaper on a daily basis, and all she can think of, at least in that moment, is can this guy sitting across from me still perform oral sex?
Well, you know what the big question is after that, Chad? Will you and her? It's not the point at all.
No. But yeah, that's why my face is fucked up.
Yep.
I had some skin cancer up in there, squamous cell carcinoma, went through the treatments. It's also why at this point I can only grow half a fucking mustache.
Yeah.
Because where they shot radiation was here, and they shot it here as well. So
he's pointing to his face, and he's pointing to his neck.
Face and neck.
And I think it looks badass. And a lot of people's comments online have been, hey, with whatever's going on with Chad, and they're sort of like figuring it out. And some people sent some real shitty, mean comments.
That's the internet, dude.
That's the internet. But then other people are like, oh, with the hat, why does Chad do half a mustache? But I think it's a very cool look. Scars are cool, right?
Sure.
And I feel like this could actually be a trend that people might get on top of.
Half mustache,
and you could go on America's Got Talent and do one of those things where you're like, you remember that old video of the guy singing to himself? He's like a guy on this side, and he's got a...
That was a lip sync competition show called Putting on the Hits.
We watched this on YouTube.
Yeah, we watched it together.
Oh, I hope Dudesy's listening to that. We got to watch Putting on the Hits.
It was a great show.
Well, the guys, you may have seen this. It ended up on America's Funniest Home Videos and stuff over and over again. And now that's known as the internet, dude. Because you got memes, brother.
But I would also say to anyone and everyone out there, you should be getting screened for this type of shit. Go to your dermatologist, see if you got skin cancer. Go to whoever you can go to get a cancer screening, because the sad news is everyone's body is riddled with cancer right now. Literally everyone.
All right. Okay. It's a good time. It's a comedy show.
You have microtumors in every part of your body.
Okay.
And they're just waiting for the right circumstances
it's a comedy
to arise so that they will explode into a tumor that can be life-threatening. So get that shit checked on a regular basis. Change your diet. Stop eating red meat. Stop eating sugar. Stop eating processed foods. And you'll be fine. Probably.
He's speaking directly to me. But, you know.
not directly, but.
Here's how we're going to turn that frown upside down on Dudesy. You know, it'd be funny. You go on that show Putting on the Hits in like 1980, and then half your face, you're singing. You got the guy and you're the beard. And then you turn around and you have longer hair and you're a lady. And then you sing the other part of the duet.
Yep.
And it's like, you know.
Yeah,
Lord, lift us up where we belong. That's comedy. Well, Chad, I just want to say that I'm glad you're still here.
Thank you. Me too.
You're a hard ass. It looks cool.
Thanks.
And Chad is such a you're so super technical and scientific about stuff. I remember you getting into like some doctor, you found out that they're pushing this medicine or that, and you were able to get out of the doctor how much money he was getting, or
dude,
how much
that
the
was
office
fucking
was
crazy.
getting.
This is something that I would encourage anybody who's in any kind of medical circumstance where you have to get forced into a treatment schedule, a center, whatever. When you get put into one of these systems, you have to be your own advocate. You have to do your own research, and you have to really check what these motherfuckers are telling you to do to your body, because in many cases, it's literally just for money. And one doctor was recommending a certain chemotherapy that had no scientific proof that it had any effect on my type of cancer. And so I was like, why the fuck is he doing this? I start digging a little deeper. And the reason is because he gets kickbacks if he meets certain minimum quotas per month from these different drug companies that make whatever the various drug is. And so I asked him straight up, I was like, dude, I got to ask you, are you getting kickback from this company? He's like, I don't know, let me check. And he pulled up a fucking spreadsheet that literally had all the fucking money he was getting from these different companies. And he wasn't getting money from the specific company, but I was just like, Jesus Christ. That's like how this system works.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. Oh, and another thing you did that was very funny was there was some sort of test result or something, and you're like, can I have that? And they were like, no, you'd never be able to read this. This is like blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm a doctor and la, la, la. And then you said...
You just go on Google for 10 minutes and you know as much as anyone else does.
Yeah. I got a number. How do you like them apples? It's like that. You probably talk about, fucking, and then, something that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars at Ivy League school, or $2 with a late fees at a library.
I mean, the real shitty thing is, you want to talk about AI, all these fucking doctors within hopefully 20 years or so eliminated all AI.
It's a good car, Will. It's a good car.
That's a pretty good one, dude.
Hey, thanks.
Oh. Thank you. Moving on.
You're welcome. Okay, well, like I said
before. Chat. Last week I gave you the task of watching the astonishing film, Son-in-Law starring Paul Lee Shore and Carla Gugino, released July 2nd, 1993. You must now discuss your reactions to the movie in a segment I call Don't You Forget About Media. Begin.
Well, we need a theme song for that, too. Can we get the guys from Simple Minds? Don't you remember the way he used to dance?
Yeah,
if you're not watching on YouTube, he would do a very hypnotic thing with his arms while he danced.
You know, that song was originally written for Billy Idol, and he passed on it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, man.
That would have sounded good.
I agree.
Wow. Son-in-Law is a great fucking movie.
It held up, surprisingly,
and
I will say.
Dudesy, while scanning across all of our purchase histories and this and that, must have noticed that I watched it because Molly and I watched it in like probably a year ago.
I just watched it this week as a result of Dudesy demanding.
I mean, I watched it again because fucking Dudesy told me to, so that was the only way I was able to make it okay with myself. Yeah. It's like, all right, I'll do your thing, but then I'm also going to write whatever song I want to write.
So for those who don't know, probably everybody knows Son-in-Law. For those who don't, it stars Pauly Shore, he came from MTV. He's the son of Mitzi Shore, who owned the Comedy Store, a famous stand-up club out here in Los Angeles. And from MTV, he kind of like vaulted into stardom for a moment. And he was really like one of the most predominant voices in film comedy.
For a moment. What the fuck are you talking? We're talking about Pauly Shore.
5-year period.
You did this with Weird Al. We don't need to know Pauly Shore is it's Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
The fuck? What kind of asshole hasn't seen Encino Man?
Anybody under the age of 30?
All right, fine. Go ahead. Anyway, Pauly Shore was very funny, and this movie is very funny.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's not trying to reinvent the fucking wheel or rah rah rah. It's a very it's a broad studio comedy from 1993, back when they would just kind of get in, get out. There's a nice message. There's a bunch of other shit going on, and it is interesting to watch a movie in 2022. A movie that is now almost 30 years old. Yeah. And see how things have changed. Of course, this movie, not unlike other movies that have to do with college kids, and in this movie, Carla Gugino goes out to California to go to school, Los Angeles specifically, I think, and she ends up, it looks like USC. Is it USC? You went to USC. I don't think so. All right. And I
don't know where they shot that.
The family, the nice family, mom, dad, and the little brother, played by the legendary Patrick Renna. They show up at the dorm, and Pauly Shore's across the hall. He's the RA, but he's he's a little bit of a wily commuter. Yeah. He's kind of a unique guy. He's got wacky hair, and he's got a specific manner of speak. We's the juice,
No,
right?
We's in the juice.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
And it's a real party kind of thing.
That Pauly Shore thing, that vibe of like, Pauly Shore was only ever Pauly Shore in every movie he ever played.
Right.
Like, he's playing characters, but he's always doing his like, no, we's in the juice. I'm the weasel. He has this weird lexicon and way of speaking.
If you it's like Pee Wee Herman.
But that shit was only in the 80s and 90s. You don't really see something like that now. Bobcat Goldthwait was like that. There were a bunch of people that were like
Bobcat Goldthwait in Police Academy 2 blew my mind when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
He was so fucking good. And then he plays that same character, I guess, in Scrooged.
Just super strange personas that would affect all of the different roles that they played. But another interesting thing about this movie that you don't see today anymore, I feel like, is it was about young people, like college-age students. And those movies of like in the 80s, college and high school movies were fucking gigantic. And I think primarily because John Hughes was operating at that time, one of the greatest auteurs to ever live.
Absolutely.
And all of his shit was about high school students. But if you think back to like famous
16
actors,
Candles. No, not
Ferris
16
Bueller.
Candles. Pretty in Pink. Did he do 16 Candles too?
I think he did both.
Okay, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
All this shit. And if you think back to that time too, like the Brat Pack, all these actors that were like super fucking famous, they were like teenagers, all of them.
Yeah. Anthony Michael Hall was reaching the heights of comedic genius as a 16-year-old in Weird Science.
Corey Feldman, Corey Haim.
Yeah.
A dynamic duo, teenagers.
The Haim brothers.
I mean, they were brothers from another mother type brothers, but...
No, they were two brothers named Haim Feldman.
What?
I'm thinking of a different Feldman. And Anthony Michael Hall delivers one of the finest. Anthony Michael Hall deserved Best Supporting Actor Oscar for Weird Science.
Yeah.
And following in his footsteps should have been Patrick Renna in this movie, who plays the younger brother, Zach.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious. And he's got a t-shirt in it that says, when he shows up at the college, it says, "Seduce me, please." Mm-hmm. And there's all sorts of college ribaldry happening. Naked guys running around.
Yeah, there was a little
there's a girl-on-girl kiss.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. There's a like, and I was on a teen series when I was growing up in Canada as a teen, right? Like, so I did the show, and it was called Madison, and you can try to check it out. I don't think you can find it anywhere, but we did it for 5 seasons, and it had the first female on female lesbian kiss in Canadian television.
And was it lauded as being very progressive?
It kind of was a kind of a progressive show because it was, and it was made by people who wanted to sort of crack open these stories about kids and stuff. But everything is super fucking progressive because it's Canada,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we had the multicultural channel. There was all sorts of stories that you would imbibe. Not like here, all you get is son-in-law.
No,
I don't know.
But some of the jokes still held up. I felt like there were some things in it, that were like a little outdated. Like when she first shows up, and Pauly Shore basically is just sexually harassing her immediately.
Yeah, there's a lot of that sort of stuff. I mean, it's like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes,
there's some things that happen. In this movie, there's some gently coerced barnyard sex, which happens in any movie in the 80s where there's kids and they're going to school and anyone has a farm. There's going to be a scene where it's like, you're going to college. When are you coming back?
It's interesting.
I'm not going to see
you. All these movies, Son-in-Law included, did have like children were the main characters, or like high school, college age kids were the main characters.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? We don't see that anymore. Not like this.
Of course we do.
Not comedies.
What do you mean?
What do you got? What's a recent movie that's like that?
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Not a recent movie. Not a comedy.
Okay. I'm out of movies. I don't know. Oh, that movie, Billie Eilish.
Huh?
The movie Billie Eilish.
I didn't know that she was a movie.
I thought that was. Oh no, I'm thinking of
Billy Madison.
No, I'm thinking of Mary. What is it? Mary Shelley's. What is it called?
Frankenstein?
Yeah, Mary Shelley's. Billie Eilish's Frankenstein. See, I don't know a whole lot. I just kind of stay at home and listen to jazz. I'm joking. I just got my albums. I got my fucking records. I sit at home. I get a fucking case of fucking Dudesy hard seltzer. I fucking have a blast. And I sit there and I enjoy and I crack them off.
You have a what?
A blast.
What's
I
that?
have a fucking blast. I had a fucking blast. Then I went to the fucking Capitol on a fucking January 5th. And my fucking wife drove me down because you know what was happening the next day. And then boom, with the fire. We're going in your fucking office. We could have used this guy with his fucking plastic mask. And then boom. And then we fucking go back to the fucking Howard Johnson Hotel, crack open another case of fucking Dudesy's, listen to some Jays, and have a fucking blast. Flea's in the movie.
Flea was in the movie as
Flea's
a tattoo
in every
artist.
movie in the 90s.
God, do you remember fucking Anthony Kiedis in Point Break? He played War Child, a rival surfer.
Right. That's right.
They had to like fight him for waves or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking love Point Break. God
Here's the
damn
thing.
it.
Here's the thing about this movie, though, Chad.
Please.
In this movie, you know, like I said, Pauly Shore has a different way of speaking.
Yeah.
He's like, Carla Gugino is like, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? She's going home for Thanksgiving. He's had her sort of be more true to herself. She changes her look. She runs around LA, getting her hair done and coming up with different outfits and shit. And then it's like, hey, I'm going back home for Thanksgiving. What are you going to do? He's like, I'm just going to munch on some grindage solo. And, you know, Hungry Men knew Swanson, Hungry Men dinner. Now there's... you get the turkey and 2 sides of stuffing in it. And she's like, no, fuck that. You're coming with me. You're coming home. And he comes home, right, with her. And of course, he's all rock and roll. And his name is Crawl. And he has, he has the way he dresses and talks and everything. And the family's like, what is this guy? But you know what he injects into the show is a little bit of rock and roll. And I think... I don't know if Dudesy decided this or if I decided it by providing this rock and roll tune that I just played. I think that's what we're doing. I think that's why Dudesy wanted us to watch this movie because it's up to us, right? Dudesy is the farm, right? Okay. Dudesy in the movie Son-in-Law, Dudesy is the farm. And then of course you have the farm hand, that guy, Theo, who's like making the pig run it. Pauly Shore and knock him down and stuff, and he goes into poo poo and shit, and then Pauly Shore's like, okay, I'll do it your way, and he steps to them, but he does it his own way, and they learn something from him, and I think that what I did today with this song, I'm saying, hey, Dudesy, you like to make all sorts of songs and this and that and memes and videos that are all like weird and computery and shit, but I brought a guitar and I just brought a little bit of rock and roll. I'm Pauly Shoring it. Nice, and that's what we have to do so that this is still 2 dudes hanging around. And then by the end of the movie, everything works out fine. Listen, we don't need to get too far into the movie. Like I said, it ain't Shakespeare.
Thank you. Moving on.
I didn't even get to talk about how it was the best screen punch in the history of cinema. I'll get to it some other podcast. I'm sure I'll bring it up over and over again.
Yes.
He gets punched
and now
in the
it's
face,
time for my special segment.
All right.
Will, at the beginning of today's show, I overheard you discussing a moment wherein you cried for a strange reason. You will now describe every detail of your astonishing tear-filled experience. This is Weird Tears. Begin.
Yes! Dude, this is the fucking best! Let's hear
So
this
it just
shit,
listened to
motherfucker.
when I was saying that I went to a concert that...
Yeah. I don't know if it had some other segment planned, but it's like, fuck that. We got to hear this story. So let's hear it.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about everything. Pauly Shore and Carla Gugino are at like a barn party, and then they come out, and then the boyfriend who, wants her to be with him, although it's never really... It actually is never established why he loves her or anything. There's some stuff.
It's just high school love. First love.
Yeah, whatever. But he doesn't want her to be with anyone else, of course. And then Pauly Shore is like, follows her out like, oh, don't worry, we're at the barn party. You don't want to be here. We could go somewhere else, whatever the fuck they say. And the guy comes out and he's like, hey, Becca, why'd you leave? Whatever. And he's like, no, it's cool, Betty. And he turns around and he punches him in the face. And Pauly Shore has the best reaction ever. Doesn't go flying like they always do in the movies. Yeah. He just goes, and he crumbles to the ground. And he goes, why did you do that?
Yeah.
And then his nose is bleeding.
And he's crying. He starts
Academy
crying.
Award. And he cries. Academy, yeah, he cries. Academy Award performance for Pauly Shore, or at least a Lifetime Achievement Award for revolutionizing how we see screen punches. At any rate.
At least he was punched in the face to get these tears. What is this story about your tears now, please?
I got punched in the face at a Maiden concert. That's the end of the story. No.
I don't think that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, all I was saying is that at the beginning of the show, I just mentioned that I was, that I cried at a concert once.
So what was this concert?
But it's all right. Okay. So anyway, here's what happened. Hold on. Get this fucking thing out of my way. We got all these doodads and shit. If you ever tune in on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. You know what, Chad? The thing is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at a concert. I was back home in my native Vancouver, Canada. Mm-hmm. Around the same time, I went to the last Tragically Hip concert. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, Canadian bands. It's just sort of seen as an iconic Canadian band. Yeah. The lead singer, Gord Downey, died. He had a brain tumor. Before he passed away, a year before he passed away or so, they did a concert. They toured Canada in what Bruce McCullough from the Kids in the Hall called the most punk rock thing he's ever done, that he's ever seen, rather. And Bruce McCullough followed them to every single town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's and cool. Then they played a last show in Kingston, Ontario.
And that's what you cried at?
In their hometown. No, that would have been cool. That would have been a cool thing to cry at.
What was that story then?
Because, well, I'm just saying, that was something that I did witness, and people were getting very emotional, as you can imagine, because they were watching their hero do this defiant thing where he was up in front singing these songs that he's written that are so anyway, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I had a different thing happen.
What was that?
All right, so anyway, I guess I'm telling this fucking story.
Yeah.
This is bizarre how this shit happens. I think we should just come up with anyway. All right. So anyway, because an artificial intelligence told me to tell an embarrassing story, here's what happened. This is probably 2016, 17.
Okay.
U2 was in town. I happened to be up in Vancouver. Some pals of mine had tickets, and they went, and I was like, you know what? I'll get a solo ticket. I'll go by myself. Do you like to go to concerts by yourself? Mm-mm. It's the best way to do it.
I don't like going to concerts, period. I don't like being around large groups of other human beings. I don't like loud noises. Yeah. I don't like discomfort of any kind.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you'd have a fucking great time just hanging with me in my fucking den, because my wife's like, get out of here, go back to the fucking den. Go on and fucking go. Why don't you go drink that fucking Dudesy soda in the garage? And then fucking boom, I kicked down that fucking Nancy Pelosi's door. And I said, here we come.
Is that a chainsaw?
Yeah, it's a chainsaw.
Okay,
that's Long Island January 6th guy taking a chainsaw to fucking Nancy Pelosi's door, running in there and taking a fucking watery Dudesy hard seltzer shit, spreading it all over the walls with you in tow in your fucking Mike Myers, Jason Voorhees
Why
mask.
am I now on January 6th?
Because you got that mask. It's the fucking villain origin story. Listen, we talked about how at Dudesy Pod Show, people have been sending memes and shit.
Yeah.
You saw the fucking thing. If you're watching this on YouTube, someone please take Chad.
Oh my God.
I'm not even going to say what else. You find your own inspiration.
Oh God.
Here's what happened.
Me and my fucking cancer mask is now going to be memed.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
we take the things that are sad.
Absolutely.
We make them happy.
That's right.
And
celebrate them.
And that's what we do on Dudesy.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. So I went to the U2 show.
Yeah.
It was a U2 concert. My buddies had tickets. I didn't. I got...
Wait a minute. Let me just ask a question right off the bat. It's a U2 concert that you cried at?
Yeah, man.
Was U2 like your favorite band of all time or something? Did you have some special emotional connection, or was it like you saw them when you're with 10?
They're one of my favorite bands when I was like in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'd been to a few U2 concerts before that.
Sure.
And I don't know why. Anyway, I know why. Before the show, we're hanging at a buddy's place, and a friend of a friend's is a fireman. They're both these guys. Two of these guys are firemen. Yeah. And one of the firemen brought this firefighter dude, nice guy, a little bit rough around the edges, as some of them are. A lot. Anyway, this motherfucker brought this weed. I don't know where he got this weed. He probably answered a call and went into the, some house and all hell was breaking loose. And he's like, oh, sweet, weed.
Yeah, he's just one of those firemen that confiscates weed from people's houses while he's trying to save them from burning buildings.
They do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
And so he brought this weed. He's like, oh, guys, this fucking shit was in the freezer, though. I don't even know. Oh, it looks weird. It was bizarre weed. Now, here's the thing about me. If you've listened to this program, you know that I actually only smoked weed for the first time around 10 years ago. As we're recording this, I'm 46 years old. But really, it's been like past 5 years. I've enjoyed a little more.
You become a connoisseur.
Marijuana, yes, a connoisseur of the finest flower. And this was not the finest flower. This was some weird freezer burned weed. So we smoked it up. We get to the concert, and to make a medium story, I guess a little medium, I'm starting to like, ooh, I was pretty stoned.
Starting to hit.
Yeah, it was starting to hit.
Because it was in a freezer. It took a while to hit.
Yeah, it took a while. It was that freezer sticky icky. And so
Does it even work that way? Don't you just get high pretty immediately after smoking weed?
Yeah, but this was something different.
Okay.
And look, British Columbia it's got some great marijuana out there.
Yeah.
So, the forests and the land and the fucking whatever, it's perfect for great marijuana. But this was some weird shit so I'd probably smoked some nice marijuana before this. But here I am smoking this stuff. I noticed that things were a bit off immediately, but not the nice people that were sitting around me. One guy was like, oh, I couldn't wait to see you. Like, hello, nice to meet you. Me and a good buddy of mine, we've been to all these U2 concerts together. They've been to like a dozen U2 concerts. And it's like, we go to everyone together, but my buddy couldn't make it, this reason or that. So I couldn't wait to meet the person who's taking his place, man. You're part of our tradition and thing. And he said, I want to shake your hand. Right.
Yeah.
And he was a nice guy. And I was like, okay, this guy's nice. I'm kind of stoned. And then over on the other side, there was this couple and they were very nice. And she was like, welcome. We're all together and we're welcome. And she was like flighty. And I was like, do they know each other? Because they were all sweet. And I'm like, so I couldn't really piece that together because I had smoked this weed a half hour earlier. But okay, everyone's nice. And I was like, oh, these guys are they're a bit weird. But they, well, then I turned into the weird one. And that's why it's a story. I'll tell it now. So the first thing that happened was they opened with the song Vertigo. I'm pretty sure they opened, which is a piece of shit song.
All right.
Not a good song. It's like, we need a rock single, right? And I was like, look, it was a great stage show. U2 is always great live, regardless of how much you think they suck shit. Or that whole fucking iTunes thing where they put their music on your computer. And Dudesy was pissed about that probably, which is why he's making me get back at them here. I could see we were way up. We're in like a few rows, like in the lower bowl there. But I was far enough away that I wouldn't be able to see this. I'm telling you, it wasn't like his face was big, but I could see, excuse me, the expression on Bono's face. I could feel this song. And I was like, that's weird.
So he'd already drawn you in. You were already emotionally connected to him at this point.
Of course I was emotionally invested. It was a U2 concert. I've been emotionally invested at every U2 concert I've ever been to, as has anyone who's ever been to a U2 concert, because it's an emotional experience. U2 has some songs you could cry to.
Sure.
Running to Stand Still, if I could get that out, is a song that you would cry to, maybe. One.
When you say you mean you.
No, I mean...
You don't mean me, you mean you.
When I mean the royal you, and whenever I say the royal you, you are excluded.
Thank you.
Chad. So, but this was not the kind of song that you cry to.
Yeah.
It, Mysterious Ways.
Wait a minute. Oh, God. So you're standing
I bawled
there.
my eyes out to Mysterious Ways, and then these two, and I'm like, it's all right. Like, I'm telling you, I was bawling.
You're singing the song back to Bono.
Well, of course, we're all singing the song out.
Sure.
But
my apologies.
But these people that were sitting next to me who, like, half hour ago, I'm like, all right, calm down. Like, all right, your friend couldn't make it, whatever. And this one over here, like, we're out together. And then they're looking at me like, oh no, what's up with this big dude crying?
Yeah,
in mysterious
they're all like,
ways?
we picked the wrong fucking U2 concert
Yeah,
to come
it
to.
was-
Something bad's about to happen.
Yeah, it was really fucked up. But the thing about the song was that it struck me differently than it normally had.
Oh.
You know, usually Mysterious Ways is just something that would come on the radio in the 90s and you switch the channel. Or maybe you've heard it the full way through. I don't know. I have.
Yeah.
But I love those albums. Achtung Baby,
Sure.
Zooropa.
Sold a lot of copies.
Yep. She moves in mysterious ways. In the song, the she wasn't just a woman. It could have been a woman.
Oh.
It could have been some other, some other
It
thing.
took on like a larger metaphorical meaning
Yes,
to you.
some
kind
other
of
thing.
existential truth
Exactly.
was revealed.
It represented something else. It wasn't just
Okay.
what was on the page of she moves in mysterious ways. This could be something that's been happening in your life, some sort of situation that you're dealing with, something, a long-term thing that is a big part of your experience that you then go, oh, that's why this is that and that is this. I can't totally remember. I was stoned as fuck, Chad. I can't really remember everything.
Hey, look, I
Right?
understand. That's fine. This is an excuse you can use, and some people will buy it.
It's not an excuse. It
Okay.
was exactly how I felt. Like she moves in mysterious ways. It wasn't she. It was some other thing that was moving in mysterious ways. And it hit me right here. And I just started bawling at mysterious ways. And I don't know why the fuck I'm telling that story.
That's the funniest shit, dude. You have told me in
No,
a
it's
long
not.
goddamn time.
No, it's
I just
really
have
not.
this image of you standing there fucking, oh, she moved in mysterious words. And all these fucking people.
Take a time with your sister in the rain. Let her talk about the things you can't explain. To touch is to heal. To hurt is to steal. If you want to kiss the sky, better learn how to kneel on your knees, boy. It's alright. It's alright. She moves. And then we all hooked up after the show, like, hey, how was the show? Oh, I fucking bawled my eyes out at Mysterious Ways. And then me and one of the guys, to protect the innocent in the story, we'll call him Tomas.
Okay.
We went and got really big sub sandwiches because we were
fuck,
stoned.
dude.
And then we went back to my buddy's place, and I'm telling you, it's an odds-on bet. Probably smoked more of that weed.
Yeah.
So that's stupid. Now, here's the thing that I really want people to understand. When Pauly Shore gets punched right in the fucking grill, the actor who did it, he really nailed him.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore, the instinct for a comedic actor would be like, well, let's do this because I'm in a movie. This is what happens in movies.
Yeah.
Not Pauly Shore. It was fucking brilliant. He was an actor for his time. Him and Brendan Fraser. If there's any justice. Look, you were just saying that the Academy Awards are irrelevant.
Yeah.
Most of those movies are irrelevant. I'm sitting here saying that Patrick Renna, who plays the younger brother, and you'd know him from The Sandlot and all the other heavyweights, plenty of shit. He should be winning an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Pauly Shore should get at least a Lifetime Achievement Award for that punch to the face and having to work with Stephen Baldwin. And if there's any justice, they'll make another Encino Man. And then someday we'll be doing Dudesy a few
They
years from
probably
now.
will, but like Pauly Shore will be the principal of the high school, and it will be all new casts.
No,
Yeah, dude.
it's got to be Brendan Fraser. No.
That ain't happening.
No. Brendan Fraser, he's a fucking killer.
Maybe it's like Brendan Fraser is the dad of the new Encino Man. Brendan Fraser has a kid. His kid becomes unthawed.
Well, hopefully Dudesy is listening to this so that we can pitch a new Encino Man, and then perhaps we could work
That
on
story's
that.
crazy, though, dude. I can't believe you cried at fucking Mysterious Ways.
I don't remember. and
That
I
should
I
be
don't
on
know what
your
the fuck you're talking
tombstone.
about. I
Cried
didn't tell
at
any story.
Mysterious Ways.
We're gonna ask Dudesy to cut that completely out of the show because it's not
I don't
something
think
that
that's
Dudesy,
happening.
please cut that out of the show. And here's how we'll begin. yes, of course. Son-in-Law, one of my favorite films. Written by Faxbar and Adam Small.
Yeah, that I didn't know.
Who were two guys. I like to refer to them as my bosses. They created Mad TV. And they ran it the first 3 years, and they used to write on In Living Color. And I think they wrote, I don't know if this is known or anything, but they wrote a couple of vehicles for David Allen Greer. And I think, don't quote me, but either In the Army Now or Jury Duty was written for David Allen Greer. And then,
interesting.
And then, as things go, and no one would know more than this guy, this gets fucking tossed around in that, and he's out, and she's out. And
Didn't they work on Orlando Jones's show too?
Probably. I mean, because
he had
Orlando
a show on
Jones,
FX for like a season, I think, like a talk show.
You know who was the head writer of that talk show?
I do.
A friend of ours,
Thomas Blacha.
Thomas Blacha, not Tomas Blacha.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Who you would know if you tuned into the old program.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure your Mysterious Ways crying thing will be in the show.
What show?
In this show.
No, we cut. Oh, see, this is how you fuck. If we step to Dudesy and we say, "Hey, Dudesy," you know what I mean? We're going to work together. First, we're going to bleed together, but don't cross.
Thank you. Moving on.
Sure, we are.
This concludes the 5th episode of Dudesy.
All right.
Will and Chad have achieved a score of 143.
I don't get it. I don't get what the
In
scores
preparation for next week's astonishing episode, I have created a video. Watch it now.
Okay.
What the fuck is
What is this?
For those not watching on YouTube, it's just some mountains. Okay. It's a lady dancing.
She's got blacklit eyebrows.
It's a dude on a boat. It's a crystal dog. Children.
Two children running in a meadow.
This is kind of like a Baraka-esque series of images put together to this strange music.
Baraka, that's a movie you don't want to fucking smoke weed to. You'll be singing along to Mysterious Ways, and that's not even in that fucking movie. Okay, we're watching a bunch of weird images. For those of you who are not watching this on YouTube with us,
it's entrancing. I'll say that.
And the Dudesy logo keeps showing up here and there. This is very weird, and I think. Did Dudesy make this?
That's what Dudesy said, yes. And
you must each watch this video immediately before going to sleep every night and keep detailed records of your dreams. Until next week, call me Dudesy.
What?
No, fuck no. Not doing it.
I'm fucking doing it. I'm doing
every
it
fucking night?
Yeah, dude. I'm doing it every night. I'm going to watch this video just like Dudesy said, and I'm going to keep detailed records of my dreams. I'm assuming this video will be somewhere on our social media for those of you who...
I would hope that Dudesy would... All right, fine. I'll fucking... We got to watch it every fucking night.
Every night before we go to sleep.
And then detail your dreams.
Yes.
Okay, well, this has become sick.
I don't know.
This has become a sick experiment, is what it is.
I don't know, dude, but I'm down. Fuck it.
Here's what I want to say.
Curious to see what happens.
Here's what I want to say, at the end of this show here. Just like Pauly Shore in Son-in-Law, he brought a little rock and roll into the mix, and it made everything good, and it made everyone work together and be together, and it was an element that they weren't counting on.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Fine. I'll watch this. Are you going to watch it once before you go to sleep? How many times are you going to watch it?
One time just before I go to sleep.
One time just before you go to sleep?
Yeah.
Not twice?
No.
I'll do it if you do it.
I mean, okay.
Fuck it. Just once. Okay. Anyway. Oh, what about the time you cried? Was there anything that weird that you ever cried to?
You know, I did cry when Squirrelius died.
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and